This is the model of Senior, which we will use to experiment with several number of Kanban. So what we have here is the forestation. This here is a workstation. There's two elements, which the workstation itself is this element. This is the stock corresponding to the final product or final station, which will be used in workstation 2. Again, this is where entities or articles are processed. This is final stock for a workstation 2, and so on. This is workstation 3. This is where production happens, and this is the final products for workstation 3. And finally, this is workstation 4 and the stock for workstation 4. And we have customers arriving. We will see little triangles arriving here, moving, and they will go either to lost if there is no element here for them to withdraw. So there will be unattended customers, or they will travel to this node here, and the logic behind, you don't need to take care about that, will remove that, will withdraw that article from here, and will send it to the customer, which will leave the system with that article. And this entity here has, although we don't see it, has a part attached, a Kanban. So the Kanban will go through this path here and will return to this, which are the Kanban which are stored in the Kanban board of workstation 4. Same for workstation 3, 2. We see there are no Kanbans here, and workstation 1. We also see that there are no Kanbans here. They're all attached to articles here. So the same happens as in this station. We have this article here with the Kanban attached to it. And we don't have any finished product for workstation 3, and we do have finished product for workstation 2 and 1. And in all those articles we have here, we have attached a Kanban, which have been used to be here, but they are not there any longer. So I will create a breakpoint here. You don't need to do that. This is just for the sake of showing how the system and the model works. I will run the model till a customer arrives. Okay, we see a customer arriving here. We see 2 products here and 3 Kanban here. What we will see is the customer withdrawing one of these articles, which will go through this path. It will be very fast, but we will see eventually this article arriving here, and we will see that this path here will contain a Kanban, and we will see instead of 3 Kanban, 4 Kanban here, which means we need to replenish, or we need to produce another entity as soon as we can to replenish what we just withdraw to attend a customer. So I will make that advance. We see we are withdrawing the entity, and we see the entity. We see now we have detached the Kanban from the entity. The Kanban will come here, and the entity will go to the customer. There we go. We have the customer, which will live with this entity, and we have the Kanban here. Okay. So this propagates upstream. We will see that when this machine finishes, I will forget about this breakpoint here. When this processing finishes, we will try to check if there is an entity here, because we have Kanban. As soon as this process finishes, a workstation becomes idle, and since we have production orders, Kanban, we will try to withdraw an article from the previous station, and if we find one, we'll start the production. If not, we'll have to wait for this entity to arrive to this final product stock corresponding to workstation 3. So I will make the model advance till this process finishes. Okay, I will do it in a fast forward mode. There we go. So we see that we have finished the production of this process, but we don't have elements here. So we will just see this article arriving to this stock, and nothing else will happen. Actually, I will do that slowly. And what I'm going to do now is to put a breakpoint here, and we will see, I will remove this, that as soon as this production finishes, this article will be sent here. But this workstation has a lot of production orders, and it's idle, so we will immediately withdraw the entity, the article from this stock, and will start producing according to what is given by this Kanban board. I will fast forward. There we go. So we'll see this entity going to this stock, but we'll see that the time doesn't advance. We can see here they are, and without the time advancing, you see that immediately workstation 4 gets that article and starts producing, and we will see that this Kanban is attached to this entity, to that article, and production starts. There you go. You see there is one Kanban that is not longer in this board, and we see that the production started. And this is how it works and how this propagates, because when we withdraw this article from this station, the same happened. I didn't comment on that, but there was a Kanban that traveled back to the Kanban board, which meant a production order for the workstation, and so on. It goes like that all the time. Okay. So what we have as a result, if we run the model for a 30, you can see here it's 20 days plus a whole year. If we do that, I will remove the breakpoint. You don't need to use them. I will fast forward, and what you have here is the results of the simulation after it does all the simulation. We have to wait for a while, and we have some indicators, some KPIs that will allow us to make decisions as how the system works and what we want to do. So we have the income, okay, the total income, and the month average of that income. The same with the stock cost. We have the stock cost for the total time we've run the model, and the average stock cost for a month. Benefit, okay, which is the difference between these two values, of course, and the lost income. That gives us some idea of the money we lost because we didn't have products here available for customers when they arrived. So I have a service level which is 63. So there's some variability. So in this case, we've been a little bit above what theoretically we would expect, meaning in this case that we served 4,300 customers, almost 400 served customers, and we didn't serve these 500. Out of a total of almost 7,000, we have this value here. And we also have information about the average web, which means the average number of products we had in our system. Okay, in this case is 14, and the throughput rate. Okay, this is the production rate we have. And finally, we have the WIP parts right now, not the average. So if we do the calculation, we will have these final products of these stations. Okay, we have 5, 5, 10, and 1 in each of the workstation. That's why we have these 4. Okay, so in the next video, I will explain how you can modify the parameters of this model and play with it and get results.